In this video, I'm going to show you how I did this Dub Techno mix by linking two Play Differently mixes. So those who know me understand that whether I'm performing in front of an audience or I'm in the studio, I'm always improvising. And the mixer is key to how I make and perform techno or electronic dance music or dub techno for that matter. And it's no secret that I love Play Differently mixers. I'll try to not do too much of a sales spiel here, but I do love them because of the flexibility, the filters, and hands-on that I can manipulate the sound. And key to manipulating the sound are the filters. And that's why they're so fantastic. That's why I'm repeating myself. That's why I love these mixes. So let me walk this through with you. I have the Model 1.4 linked to the Model 1. Now, what makes this great, besides having a larger channel count, which is obvious, but also the master filter and the master EQ. So the Model 1.4, linked to the Model 1, I'm able to already sculpt each individual sound source or channel with its own high low pass filter and the sculpt EQ as well. But the master filter then passes through to the Model 1, and then I have an additional master filter as well. Filters are essential to crafting a sound. Now, any other DJ mixer or is characterized by its kind of EQ, or one of the main characterizations. The filters here, I don't know how to describe it. They are human. They are musical. Actually, what's the term people use? Musical. They are really musical, which means I can put my hands onto the sound and keep moving and twisting that sound. As you heard in the piece, and you'll hear it again shortly, how I keep manipulating that sound. So the three things I love: the additional channel count, having two master filters and two master EQs that are in serial, but then this also allows me to return effects to a channel for that ultra dub techno approach. So why do I have a Model 1.4 and a Model 1? That's easy. Well, I love the mixers, but I use these mixers when I perform live as well. So depending on where I'm performing, the setup, the space, the environment requires me to either use a 6-channel or a 4-channel. But in the studio, I have the privilege of using 10 channels. So let me break down the dub techno thing I just did. All right, let's start with the Model 1, because this is somewhat slaved to the Model 1, or not slaved, but linked, I should say. So you can see I like to put some electrical tape and clearly mark what the sources are, because as an improviser, I'm grabbing at this very quickly. So on channel 1, I'll call this, I have the amazing Melbourne Instruments Nina 12-voice polysynth, and that's giving me those great kind of pad sounds that are moving around. I then have the TR-808, that is passing through here. And I've actually got the master filter engaged on this, and it's also running through a Korg Monotron just to really shit up the sound and add some more weird delay. That's pretty awesome. Then I've got my regular 303 over here giving me a bass line, and I also have the machine drum. That's also going through the master filter, and you can see the slightly different filter and EQ settings for each. Now, on the Model 1.4, I also have a Eventide space pedal that's coming back on the return here as well. You can see I've got the 303 going through it and a little bit of the Nina as well. So this is then, I play a lot with the master filter, just love it. So the Model 1.4 is linked to the Model 1. So if you were DJing and I'm not a DJ, you would share the same cues. So all the sound is passing, going through the master here on the Model 1. Here we've got the 909 on 2 channels here. So I have the kick up here. I then have the rest of the 909 going through. Now, you don't need to separate it like that, but I kind of do because I want a little bit more control over sculpting the sound. Over here, I've got the Devilfish 303 that is somewhat playing the same pattern, but it's receiving different gates than the original 303 baseline, and that's being sent to a delay. So just hold the thought there. And that is kind of minimal and sporadic at times. Following channel, I have the Octatrack. Now, the Octatrack has a little modular setup here that I'm running into the Octatrack, and I'm kind of live sampling that. That is also going through the master filter as well as, how many times do you want to say as well? In addition to going to the delay. Then I've got a Syntac that's adding some more percussion sounds, also going through the master filter. Again, different EQ settings here to help shape that sound in that frequency space. Then I have the Eventide time factor being returned to an actual channel. Now you can see I've got the 303, the Devilfish 303, and the Octatrack going auxiliary 1 and being returned the delay here, and that's also going through the master filter. Now, this allows me to do some of that feedback stuff where I send the delay back onto itself. Now, you've got to be very careful when you do this, because otherwise you can destroy your gear and your monitors. So you want to be very careful with that, and you can see how I do it subtly, I guess I could do it more dramatically, and I have done it in other videos, but I like this control. It's true to say that I could return the delay back through the return, and I can still go through the filter, but I just like that I've got an additional filter and filter sculpting the delay. So that's how I link 10 channels of the Play Differently models to create Dub Techno. But I am loving this workflow. It gives me that extra channel, and it gives me that extra ability to really craft out each of these boxes and the space that we have to play with in the frequency space.